Games folder. App switcher. Rocks. Close. Activate. Default. Rockstar. Rockstar. Home. Heading. Play. Restart. Play. Button. Play. Rock your way to the top of the 80s charts in this interactive tale of music and mayhem. 66. DD1. BC0. 96. Play now for. Restore per. Play now for free. Button. Text field. Think you can do. 0%. Image. Whole. Voodoo. Image. Degree. Arcade. Open. Close interstitial ad. Button. Home. Backbot. Rockstar. Show stats. I am the entertainer. Been all around the world. I've played all kinds of palaces. And laid all kinds of girls. I can't remember faces. I don't remember names. But what the hell? You know it's just as well. Cause after a while in 1,000 miles, it all becomes the same. Billy Joel. Next. Button. Yeehaw. You fellers ready to go on stage, or what? There are many ways to be woken up in this world, but having the tobacco-chewing wannabe cowboy shove his hairy mug in your face and scream at the top of his lungs must rank somewhere near the bottom. You open your eyes and pull the world into focus just in time to evade the string of tobacco spittle that falls from his chin and lands with a splash on the hardwood spot where your head used to lie. Strom, the owner-proprietor of Strom's Bar and Saloon, wipes his lip with his sleeve and grins malevolently. Excuse me, I didn't mean to upset your precious rockstar beauty sleep time, you dandies. Now, you best get out on stage in 5 minutes or you ain't getting paid tonight. Oh, and have a lovely show. With that he slams the door shut. It's your first night at Strom's, a rowdy biker bar off the highway. It's the kind of bar you thought only exists in movies about undercover martial arts experts who don't want any trouble. You've already noticed more tattoos since you walked in the door than you knew existed in the world, and that Confederate flag over the jukebox seemed awfully ominous when you first entered. Still, it's a gig, and gigs are what you need. Plus, if the show goes well, you may be able to squeeze a few more nights out before having to hit the road again. You've only been on the road 2 weeks for your first tour, but it feels so much longer. You finally manage to sit up and take stock of the room, the cramped and dusty backstage dressing room, holding your instruments, some various alcohol bottles, and your bandmates slumped against the walls. No one speaks as they all try to pull themselves from various states of unconsciousness. Why are you all so tired? We've just been living the life of a rock star, baby. Party all night, work all day, radio button, checked, 1 of 4. We've been rehearsing hard and traveling so much, it's been tough to get a good night's rest, radio button, unchecked. We all went to bed, next, button. Next. I'll awaken my senses with the power of creative meditation, gathering all the thoughts swimming in my head to compose an impromptu song about the moment, radio button, unchecked, 4. That beer. It needs to be finished. Radio button, unchecked, 3 of. Next, button. You grope blindly for the beer bottle and find it next to your chair. The beer has aged nicely since last night and has taken on a delightful smoky flavor with a hint of tar. Oh, wait, that's because someone dropped a cigarette butt in it. At least it helps wake you up. You're the first one to rise to your feet. Per usual, your bandmates are taking their sweet-ass time getting up. As much as you love being the band leader, you never anticipated how much of the job would involve actually having to lead your bandmates to do what you need them to do. Only 3 minutes to go till showtime. What's your next move? Better get them up so they have enough time to get ready. Radio button, checked, 1 of 3. Check. Better use this minute to make myself presentable before the show. They're all. Better try leading by example, start getting set up myself, and then they will follow. Radio button, unchecked, 3 of 3. Next, button. A wonderful idea. Let's hope it actually works. You head over to the gear to start getting ready. A pile of black cases holds various instruments on the inside and various names on the outside. Actually, now would be a good time to remember your name, if you can. What's your first name? Antonio, radio button. Bobby, radio button, unchecked. Courtney, radio button, unchecked. Fred, radio button. Heather, radio button. Nancy, radio button. Roger, radio button. Zeke, radio button. I can tell you my Zeke. I can tell you. Next, button. What's your last name? Anderson, radio button. Alvin, radio button. Grant, radio button, unchecked. Schwartz, radio button. Wilkins, radio button, unchecked. 5. I'll tell you. Wilkins, radio button. Next, button. It would also be useful to know what your gender is, you know, for the fan. Male, radio button, checked. 1 of 4. Female, Bowie, non-gendered, alien from the planet Rock. Next, button. Before you crack open your instrument case, you can't help but notice the if lost, please return to, sticker adorning the front. Whenever you see it, it always makes you nostalgic for your hometown of. Where did you grow up? Poughkeepsie, NY, radio, Sheboygan, WA, radio button, unchecked, 2 of 6, George, WA, radio button, unchecked, Burlington, VT, radio button, Anytown, USA, radio button, unchecked, 5 of 6. Checked. None of those, radio button, unchecked, next, button. Yes, Anytown, where the grass grows tall and the people grow wide. As you finally open the case, a handwritten letter falls out and lands on the floor. Someone must have slipped it in there at some point, probably before you woke up in that special someone's bed. The note wishes you good luck on your tour and ends with a number and a command to call from the road. How sweet. Who left you the note? A fat bottom gal, radio button. A foxy fell fan, radio. Just a friend, radio. Ever hear of free love, radio button. Next, button. Ever, just a friend, radio button, unchecked, 3 of 4. Ever hear of free love? Next, button. Fair enough. But if you were to indulge in some of the spoils of rock stardom, what type of companionship would you pursue? Dudes, radio button, chicks, it's all good. Next, button, it's all good with me, radio button, unchecked, 3. Check, next, button. Sweet, I will do my best to alternate the genders of the many friends you may meet along your journey. Finally, the time has come. Your bandmates have just barely made it to their feet and readied their instruments when Strom announces your band. As you step out of the dressing room, you can hear the roar of the crowd beckoning. Oh, wait, that's just your nervous stomach. Even though you've been on the road a couple of weeks already, you still get that same feeling just before going on stage, as endless questions fill your head. What kind of crowd will you have tonight? What reaction will you get? How many new fans can you accumulate? How many more shows like this will it take to reach your dreams of rock stardom? Instead of stressing about the future, you decide to take a moment to meditate on the past. You take a deep breath, close your eyes, and transport yourself back to the much simpler time of your youth, the time when one innocent decision would set in motion everything that has brought you to exactly where you are today. Next chapter, button. Next, button, text field, next, Velvet Underground. You know, she don't believe what she hears, till one fine morning she turns on a New York station. You know her life, Velvet Underground. Next, button. Hey, Zeke, what are you doing to celebrate your 13th birthday tonight? Show stats, but, hey, Zeke, what are you doing to celebrate your 13th birthday tonight? Your friend Ricky whispers to you from behind his cello. You are seated at the back of a junior high classroom. School ended over an hour ago, but you're not going anywhere. The big orchestra recital is tomorrow, and you've got to practice. That means 2 more hours of playing. What instrument will you play? The bassoon, radio, the piccolo, the harp, radio, next, button. Of all the instruments, only the mighty triangle makes music and teaches geometry at the same time. Your mom decided that you should play the triangle because it instills discipline, motor skills, and an appreciation for real music. You've never quite figured out what real music means, or what makes the music you like less than real, but you've learned it's best not to argue with her about these things. Your mother is not a fan of contemporary music. Born at the tail end of the Great Depression and raised during World War II, her tastes in all things veer decidedly traditional. Her idea of popular music begins and ends with Elvis Presley, and, no, you are not allowed to listen to him until you are older. As for those drug bands from places like New York City, Los Angeles, and, most horrifying of all, England, well, you'd better just forget about it. So, yes, your mother is quite strict. As for your father, he learned years ago just to go along with whatever your mother says. And for the most part, you do, too. But lately, for whatever reason, you've been feeling a bit of a rebellious urge bubble up inside you. Whereas you never would have talked to a known troublemaker like Ricky before, now you find yourself whispering with him in the back of band rehearsal. You lean over behind Ricky's cello, truly the greatest classical instrument for whispering behind, and respond, I don't know. My parents are probably just going to order pizza and a cake or something. Ricky uses his bow and mouth to make the universal symbol for uber lame. Listen, I'm going to hang out with my older cousin Gunter after school. He is so cool. He loves to play practical jokes on people, like ringing doorbells, teeping trees, and smashing mailboxes. It's hilarious. Why don't you come out with us and celebrate your birthday in style? That does sound pretty rad. But if I skip out on my parents tonight, my mom will stick me in a cake and light me on fire. Next time? Radio button, checked, 1 of 4. Hell yeah. In fact, let's leave right now. If I have to listen to you torture that cello for 1 more minute, my brain might leak out of my eye holes. Fine, just promise me you'll get me home before dinner? Radio button, unchecked, 3 of... Hell yeah. Fine. Your cousin sounds like a real stand-up guy, the kind that will be spending his formative... Next, button. Whoa, gross, you are badass. Alright, let's bolt in 3, 2 faster than you can say, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, you're out the door. You and Ricky escape school and hop over the small fence separating your junior high from the adjacent high school. Everything here looks the same, only bigger. As you saunter through the land of the giants, feeling like some sort of foreign dignitary, your adrenaline buzz is squelched by the sight of your brother Casper cutting across the parking lot. Hey, birthday boy, what are you doing here? Are you in high school now or something? Casper is sweet but somewhat spacey. Before you have a chance to say anything, Ricky blurts out, we're going to go smash mailboxes with my cousin Gunter. You may have heard of him, he's the guy who got... Casper looks at you with a mixture of shock and disappointment. You recognize it as the same look your mom usually gives you right before the yelling starts. Really, Zeke, you don't want to waste your time with that punk. Besides, Mom and Dad have a whole night planned for you with a special surprise. Come on, I'll give you a ride home. You're right, let's go. Radio button, checked, 1 of 4. Thanks, but no thanks. What's a surprise? Radio button, unchecked. Buzz off, Casper. Next, button. Casper's eyes light up. I can't tell you that, but let's just say that your gift will leave you spinning. Leave you spinning? What the heck is he talking about? You've got my... Tell me what it is now, or I'm not coming. Radio button, unchecked, 2 of 3. You've got my attention. Let's roll. Tell me, if it didn't suck, you would have told me what it was. I'm Utai. Radio button, next, button. No can do, little one. Guess you're on your own. Whatever, who cares? It was probably something triangle related anyway. Ricky's cousin Gunter pulls up in a cherry red convertible Thunderbird. He flicks his cigarette and blows the remaining smoke in your face, then opens the door. Hop in, short stack. Word to the wise, if you scoff at the leather upholstery, I will scoff up your face. The 2 of you hop in, and Gunter speeds out of the parking lot. As you head toward your afternoon of birthday debauchery, your eye catches something odd in the car dashboard. Just below the radio dial is what appears to be, but couldn't possibly be. Hey, is that a tape deck in your car? Gunter smirks proudly. You bet your butt it is. First edition Sony Electronics and Dash cassette player. I had my buddy Paco at the shop install it for me. It's the first one. You can't believe it. A tape deck in a car. Think of the possibilities. No more crummy local radio stations. No more mom controlling what music you listen to. You want to hear it so bad. But what kind of music would a guy like Gunter have? Do you have any tips? You ask hopefully. Gunter snorts in your general direction. He flips open the glove compartment, revealing a pile of cassettes. Every album you've ever wanted to listen to, all in one place. It's a treasure trove of rock. You could spend weeks just looking at the artwork and reading the liner notes. Well, are you gonna keep drooling or put one in already? I'm sick of hearing you breathe. You're not sure, but you have a feeling this could be the most important decision you've ever made in your life. Choose an album to learn more about it, then decide which album to listen to. American Beauty, Grateful Dead, radio button, check, Grateful Dead. Blood, Bob, The Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd. Electric Ladyland, Jimi Hendrix, Exile on Main, period. Led Zeppelin 4, Led Zeppelin, Never, The Sex Pistols. The Rock, The White Album, The AD, click, link, vertical, AD, install, brain out. 5 FBE1C, next, button. Though the 60s had just come to an end, the Grateful Dead crafted the era's defining statement on American Beauty. Flower Child classics like Box of Rain, Friend of the Devil, Until the Morning Comes exhibit the band's seamless blending of blues, rock, and Americana influences. I'll keep browsing, radio button, checked, 1 of 2. I'm ready to make my selection, radio button, unchecked, 2 of 2. Next, text field, next, button. AD, install, image, brain out. 5 ed 49, 5 ed 4, The Rise and Fall, listen to, The Rock, period. Listen, period, The Rock, listen to, period. Never mind the bollocks, here's the, listen to Never Mind the Bollocks, here's the Sex Pistols, radio button, unchecked, 7 of 9. AD, install, brain, 5 ed 4, brain out, brain, period. Led Zepp, listen, period. So, which one, show stats, so, listen, period, listen, blood, period, listen, the dark, period, listen, electric, period, listen, exit, period, listen, Led Zepp, period, listen, never, period, listen, the, period, listen, the, period, next, button. You pop Never Mind the Bollocks, here's the Sex Pistols into the tape deck. From the moment the first notes ring out, you know you've made the right choice. It's a revelation, the greatest music you've ever heard, clearly. While Ricky and Gunter spend the afternoon happily wreaking havoc around town, all you want to do is listen to Never Mind the Bollocks, here's the Sex Pistols over and over again. But once the sun goes down, Gunter says he needs to head home and fluff his mustache before his girlfriend comes over. He drops Ricky off first, then you. You wave goodbye as he peels off into the distance. As soon as his car disappears, it hits you. What are you going to tell your parents? I'll pretend the bus broke down, and I had to walk home, radio button, checked, 1 of 3. I'll say I stayed late for extra band practice, radio button, unchecked. Nothing. I'll just sneak upstairs and hope they assume I was home all along. Radio button, unchecked, next, button. No such luck. As soon as you open the door, you find your mom has been waiting for you, roused by the sounds of Gunter's booming speakers. She's fuming mad. Behind her, you can see the melting ice cream cake and cold pizza. You're starving, but you have a feeling you won't be eating anytime soon. Ricky's mother just called. Apparently, the two of you thought it would be a good idea to go for a joyride on your birthday. Well, I hope you had fun, because now your birthday is over. No presents, no cake, no pizza. Straight to your room, now. You trudge upstairs and slam the door. When the coast is clear, Casper whispers under your door. Hey, birthday boy. Too bad about your present. It would kill you if you knew what it was going to be. So, do you want to know? Buzz off. Radio button, yes. Radio button, no. Next, button. It was a record player. Sorry. A record player. Why didn't anyone tell you before? Well, this birthday went from epic to lame in record time. Still, even if you're trapped alone in your room, you're determined to throw yourself a party. With the sounds of Never Mind the Bollocks, here's the Sex Pistols still fresh in your head, you rock out in front of your mirror. What instrument would you like to play as you rock out with your socks out? Get, CLK, get, next, button. You pick up your hockey stick and start slaying that X. It might look wrong, but it feels so right. When you're finally finished rocking, you lie in bed the rest of the night with the sounds of Never Mind the Bollocks, here's the Sex Pistols still playing in your head. You don't know it yet, but the tiny seed of a future rock star has just been planted inside you. Next chapter, button. Next chapter. D15B4C7, 6610, B996, B6, D7C, 7C1, 6196, B6, D1, D15B4C77, games fold. App switcher. Close, activate, default, scrap. Rockstar, shows, oh, that summer's, oh, when I look back now. That summer seemed to last forever. And if I had the choice, yeah, I'd always want to be there. Those were the best days of my life. Bryan Adams. Next, button. It's 3 years later, and you are now 16 years old. 3 more years dreaming of rock stardom. But are you any closer to realizing your dream? Your brother Casper should be arriving home from college any minute. You have a few more weeks of school left. You've been counting down the days until Casper's return, but you're not ready to see him. Not yet. Instead of waiting for him at home, you sit in a darkened classroom. School ended over 2 hours ago, and the building is nearly empty, but you sit alone. Well, not completely alone. You also have your guitar. Technically, it's not your guitar. You are borrowing from Mr. Hart, the super cool high school gym teacher. But with the amount of time you spend with the guitar, it's really beginning to feel like your own. How much time do you spend practicing? 4 hours a day and twice as much, plenty. It's my only enough. It comes naturally to me, so I don't need to practice too much. To be honest, I'm mostly playing it to get girls, so what's the point? Enough. It comes naturally to enough. To next, button. Fair enough. If you practice too often, it would start to feel like a job. Then you'd just, Casper, welcome home. Hey, little bro. I wouldn't go inside, if I were you. Mom just got a call from your music teacher that you haven't been attending your band practices. She's super pissed. Oh. This is bad news for your health in rocking. Casper sees the concern on your face. What's going on? Did you grow tired of your triangle or something? Yes, that's it. Nothing but... Yes, not... Next, button. Next. Double, 7C1D496, games fold. App switcher, rock, close, activate, default, Rockstar. Rockstar, Rockstar, shows, you are a terrible liar. Casper can tell you are holding back something, but he deftly pivots the conversation. Oh, that's a shame. I guess that means you won't be interested in my new bass. It's sitting in the trunk of my car. I thought maybe you'd want to jam with me. That seals it. You shove Casper into a car and command him to drive to the school. You sneak back in through your secret entrance, the window of the bathroom. As you lead in, dude, what the hell are we? You shut him up and unlock the utility closet, revealing the guitar in all her glory. Whoa, no way. Is that yours? Are you any good? Huh, what? Something rocking, something loud, with a driving beat, radio button, unchecked, 404, next, text, Scrabble, 3, next, button. You breeze through a solid rendition. Casper seems impressed. Unable to wait any longer, he joins in on the fun. It takes a few hours to work out the kinks, but eventually the two of you are grooving together like you've been at it for years. Grinning from ear to ear, he shouts out, "Little bro, this is gonna be the best summer ever." It turns out he was right. For the next 2 months, you and your brother play music every day, becoming better and better. Soon you are a well-oiled musical duo. What else do you do all summer? Next, button. It turns out he was right. What else do you do all summer? Go to lots of concerts, radio button, checked, 1 of 4. Hang out with friends, radio button, unchecked, 2 of 4. Hit on girls and party, radio, nothing. Eat, sleep, and practice, not always in that order. Radio button, unchecked, next, button. Sure, your friends are great and everything, but you can already feel yourself growing apart from them as you become more and more obsessed with your guitar. After a couple months, you've mostly given up on hanging out with them. As the summer draws to a close, you find yourself growing bored of banging out the same covers over and over. You decide that it's finally time for you and Casper to write your first song together. Which part of the song do you want to write? Music, next, button. Everyone knows that the music is the heart of every rock song. No musician likes to be pigeonholed into a musical category, but when you're writing a song, it's important to know what you are going for. Songs don't come out of a vacuum. They are a careful... What kind of song are you writing? A folk ditty, next, text field, next, button, next. Dark and full of pain, with lots of yelling, fun and poppy, with lots of rhymes about girls and partying, radio button, unchecked, 4. Next, button. Alright, your song is almost done. Do you have what it takes to pen the perfect 2-4? I've always heard is give me a pad and pick, 363, Scrabble, 3, give me a pad, next, button. Amazingly, your strategy of not working seems to work fantastically. You close your eyes and a fully formed chorus appears in your head. Despite what anyone may have told you, my record player, radio but, rock and roll, despite what anyone may have told you, the heart of a great rock song is the title. Obviously. The title is what fans are going to hold signs up. Rock and roll part 27, radio button, untitled, radio button, unchecked, rock and roll part 27. Hey, nah, radio button, hot black tar, radio button. Kindly step aside and allow me to title my own song, radio, next, button. Congratulations, you've written, little man, that's an inspired night, are you nuts? Connect with, Scrabble, 3, next, sorry, next, button. Of course, just a few friends, I promise. Next, button. You have sharpened your guitar skills into a finely tuned rocking machine. While you and Casper set up, his friends begin filtering into the classroom, 6 packs of beer in tow. It soon becomes clear that your and his conceptions of a few are very different from each other. 3, next, something next, button. You kick off with One More Saturday Night by the Grateful Dead. See, it's funny, because it's actually a Friday night. 6, BC, 9, 6, next, as the open, next, button. Oh no, there are a couple of flubs. Sweet, almost time to bring this baby, oh no, unfortunately, hey, Mr. Hart, you stammer. He scowls back at you, I thought that was, stop playing me, solo for 10, show him who's boss. Show him who's boss, next, text field, next, button. Remember earlier how we told you that the first 3, to find out, buy it now for $3.09, if you've already purchased, click, games fold. Screen recording in progress, button.